There's a friend of mine bought a quick change tool for us from Banggood, and he wants me to make it fit this compound slide, which is off a Harrison L5 lathe. It had a square type tool holder on, indexable, and he wants this taken off and he wants that putting on. I'm not quite sure how the studs held in on this particular lathe. I'm sure we'll find out once we start to get into it. What I don't want to do is bastardise this. I don't want to damage it. I want to try and keep it so it can go back to original if possible. Right, I don't think that stud will just be screwed into there. I can't see them doing anything as easy as that. Alright, it's a little bit like the knife that I've just done, held in with a cap head. You can see it there, so it's held in with that screw, so I'll have to take the slide apart. Looks like it's been filled with grease. They should use light oil, not grease. Definitely been filled with grease. It's in good condition. The threads look nice. We'll have to take this handle off and see if we can slide it apart. It doesn't just screw off the end. There's a pin holds a handle on a tapered pin. That's the little end there, so we need to support that. But I get somebody to hold the other end of it that I haven't got. So we've got that kind of supported. And hopefully I should be able to. It's awkward working by yourself on certain jobs, but I'm sure we'll manage. Right, we found a much simpler method. And that's the pin out at the box to put all the bits in. Next there's a couple of little Allen bolts in there that need to come out. This compound slide won't strip it anyway and all the grease taken out of it. Bollocks, not what we wanted to happen. Right, so we're going to tape our collar. This is in good condition in here. There's a little brass D-dent there, and a little spring inside there, and you can see that. Two little springs, that puts the friction onto that part when you drive it down, when you tighten it down. That puts friction on, so that's adjustable. So I've kept both the springs. I've lost one of the little brass D-dents. It'll be quicker just to make a one than trying to find that bastard. Right, 2 more Allen screws in there. No more surprises, I don't think. This is in good condition inside of here. It doesn't look like it's been to bits before. Right, so now we should be able to screw the lead screw out, which we have done. See, that's in really good condition, but it's plastered and grease. It should be oil. The whole thing's plastered and grease. That nut should lift out. I'm going to screw it back onto the feed screw. There is a little locking nut there that was actually a little locking glove screw that was actually loose. That should be tight. Just make me put it back on the same way around, that's all. But this is all in good condition. But certainly filthy. It should now slide apart. Just leave the adjusting screws alone on the gib strip and hopefully it'll slide off like that. And that's the adjustable gib strip there, and they're the little adjusters. Right. So now, look at the state of that. Bollocks. Show what goes on there. I think it should just tap out now. I think that's just a centre where it's been machined. See these aluminium jaws on here. Right, we'll go with an exploratory top. That's simple enough. When I make a new one of these out of something decent, and I'll drill and tap a hole opposite just to replicate that, and it means that all this can go back on. I'm not going to damage anything. Whoever's plastered this in grease has actually done it a favour, keeping it alive, keeping it in good condition, but it'll work much better with oil in instead of that horrible stuff. But I will clean it up and oil it up for them properly and set it all up. No need to make a pin for that. This is what Banggood supply, or supplies, the tool post supply. This is a Banggood one. And you just machine that down to fit. It's normally a T-slot on compound slides, at least on modern lathes. Wedge tape. It's the same as my one I've got on my lathe. I think it's slightly smaller. And that one locks turning clockwise, and the one I've just done the little knife at, strange enough, locks going the other way. Quite nicely made, bit of kit all ground. Wedge tape as opposed to piston tape. The wedge tape I definitely prefer. Right, that hole's 1/2 inch, which means I can use 1/2 inch UNF, which is one of my favourite threads actually. So I can put some 1/2 inch UNF threads on the end of there. That'll go through there quite nicely, and just make a little adapter for the end. The first thing I'm going to make is the nut. So I need a short piece of this, threading 1/2 inch UNF. That will be then screwed Loctite onto the stud and machined on the stud to make sure it's all nice and straight and true. Tapping for 1/2 inch UNF is 11.5mm according to my chart. Speed it up a little bit. That's slower, John. That's nice material, it's more than just mild steel. course I can't put the pin in from the bottom because that's a bigger diameter, and I really don't want to drill the compound slide. I think I should be able to get away with it. Yeah, that stud's a bit of good gear, definitely. That needs to be an inch diameter, and I'll measure how deep it needs to be. Right, that's just down to depth, down to thickness rather. John, how the f did you do that? As you saw, I actually machined that too small. It's only a funny's head too small. So instead of making another one, this is a little dodge. You can sometimes get away with it. You just put a nail onto it, and that raises enough of the metal up to allow it to be a tight fit. This often gets done on shafts with loose bearings. Right, that's good now. That'll be a nice tap-in fit. So that's another way you can basically pull yourself out of the shite. Of course, I'll still be able to get the screw that off there. Normally I'll just make another one, but right now we've got to get that off the shaft. Should be interesting. Not too bad at all. Right, so we managed to recover that part. Just to see I'm making another one, that was all. Nothing the matter with that. So now I'll drill and tap a hole in there just to lock it into place, and then the the bolt we've made will screw through from the back. Right, so that will still screw into there, lock it in with some Loctite, and then that's going to be the job done. We'll mount this on the milling machine, get it drilled and tapped. I'll find out what thread that is and possibly use the same size. Depends what grub screws I've got. That looks horribly like SNNC, which it probably is. Need to go down for a depth of 14mm. Right. Right, now we'll tap and drill for Lathe SNNC. We've got it started, I'll just run it down by hand. And by doing it this way, I haven't damaged it. It means it can still go back to standard if anybody would ever want to. A little bit of Loctite on there. Right, so basically that is going nowhere. Tool simply drops on. And you can lock it up in any position you want. If we're looking like it's all nice and proper. I've actually got another one to do. I'm going to make that fit into there, but not today. Right, it's all back together. I've adjusted the gibs up so it's nice and smooth, nice and tight. There's no backlash in there, or very little backlash in it. So it's obviously not had a great lot of use. All I've got to do now is make a little brass plug to go in there because I lost one as a plug, a spring, a little grub screw, and it what puts a prelude on that dial there. When I took it apart I should have spent a bit more care, but anyway. quite pleased with the way that's worked out. Right, that's where the little brass thrusts go into there. There's a little spring. And a grub screw. And that is what puts the load on there to stop it from turning. This is quality stuff. This is nicely made. That's the one I've just made to replace the one I lost. Right, that's it. That's puts the friction on there. The trouble is it's got nipples on, but they're not for grease, they're for oil. Never mind. Once again, it's just time to say thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Fucking hell! Oh, you fucking clumsy bastard, you! Fucking clumsy bastard, yeah.